The 2018 Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champions, are going to be making their draft picks in Dallas. I mean, can't get any sweeter than that, huh? All right, Brendan Albert is here. I am Adrian Fenke. We're trying something new. So if you guys know about these mock draft sites and where you can kind of make your own draft and make your own picks, the good one to go to is firstpick.com. And we're going to have our own little draft today, our own little Eagles mock draft. So let's bring Brendan Albert onto the show, and you can get into this a little bit further.
We're going to do this twice, guys, okay? So we're going to do two scenarios here. We're going to do the first one is we're going to do a mock draft with the Eagles as if they don't trade a single pick, which we know with Howie is never going to happen, okay? But we're going to at least give it a shot. Now, the one thing I will tell you guys before we start this, so First Pick, what this company or this website does is a draft simulator. What it does is it looks at the big boards from people like Mel Kiper, McShay, Matt Miller, Mike Mayock, all those folks, and it kicks out averages. So eventually what we're going to see here, guys, is you're going to see where all these players are averaged ranked. And the cool thing about this is as we get to each pick, teams are going to, in this simulator, offer us trades. We can accept them. Me and Adrian will be, our GMs together. But for the first time, Adrian, let's just go through it and let's just pick the picks together. Okay, buddy?
All right, so you don't want to do different picks. You want to just do –
Oh, let's do different picks. I'm sorry. Yeah, you and me, we each have different picks.
All right, so, yeah, I'm going to make a pick. Brendan's going to make a pick. And Brendan's probably going to do a lot better than me. But
we'll find out. Yeah. All right, so let's do through here. Let's go skip to my pick. All right, so, again, we have some offers, but for this example, we're not going to make any trades. So let's just say here, okay, so they have told us that the positions of need, according to Matt Miller – McShay, all those guys have said the three biggest positions so far that we need to address: offensive tackle, outside linebacker, inside linebacker. Then you can see here what our picks are so far and then what our future pick situation is. So Let's see what the best value is.
Well, the first thing I noticed there is Mason Rudolph went 31. And if the Eagles want to work out a trade and trade back, having that scenario play itself out didn't work in the Eagles' favor. But as you can see in this scenario, it looks like Denver traded up to 31.
Which I think is a very realistic situation. Maybe Denver takes Saquon Barkley or Chubb and then says, hey, let's trade up and get Mason Rudolph. I think that's very realistic.
Yeah. So, well, in this scenario, it looks like Darius Geis is on the board. So is this are these the best players available?
These are the best players available right now. So kind of scrolling up and down here, Adrian, what players pop to you? What names are you seeing that you're like, ooh, I really would love this?
Yeah, well, Darius Geis is one. So you got that there. I like Terrell Crosby, the tackle from Oregon. You see some others. Rashaan Evans, somehow still hasn't been drafted yet. I'm not big on Colton Miller. You still got Ronald Jones on the board. You got Mike Hughes on the board. Will Hernandez, the beast. In this scenario, I'd probably go Darius Geis.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to quickly go over here. We're going to throw Geis's name. To me, I like Connor Williams. The fact that Connor Williams is still on the board here from Texas, I think he is, at this case scenario, the best left tackle situation. And to me, I'll tell you this right now, guys, it's not a very deep tackle class. So if a scenario like Connor Williams or Colton Miller is on the board at 32, even though I might personally not love them, I know the drop-off is pretty significant because the next time the Eagles pick is going to be about 100 picks later. Yeah. So to me, you can't block them. You can't beat them. I want to keep Carson healthy. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Connor Williams here at left tackle, even though Adrian would have taken Darius Geis.
I'll tell you what, having Will Hernandez up there, it was pretty tough to pass him.
Would you have taken Will Hernandez over Connor Williams, Adrian?
I would.
Okay.
I would. I know the Eagles need a tackle, but I think because of what Will Hernandez might be at the next level and potentially being a perennial Pro Bowler, even at the guard spot, I would take him. Now, the thing is, I'm not big on some of these tackles. I'm not big on the class. So my views are going to be a little bit different. Some of the guys that I like, it looked like Brian O'Neill. I don't know if he got taken or not. I don't know if he did. I know that he's ranked lower probably in this than I have him.
Yeah.
But Crosby was out there, but you're not going to take him at 32. So there we go. All right, so we're in the fourth round now. and let's see what the best available is.
So far, as a reminder, we still need linebackers. That's a situation that probably is of need here. Maybe a running back, maybe another receiver, safety.
Yeah, it's harder to do this on my end because I'm not because you get to control the board. Let's see, who do I like here? You know what? Now I'm looking back, and I wish I didn't draft that Darius Geis because you got Royce Freeman there still on the board, and it is a really really good running back class.
Exactly.
All right, so the guy that kind of pops out here is the Eagles kind of need a blocking tight end to fit the Zach Ertz mold, and I'm seeing Durham Smythe. Now do me a favor. Who are the tight ends that are left? Can you go to the tight ends?
Yep. So let's just sort by tight ends.
Yeah.
So we can absolutely. I love this. This website's awesome.
Yeah.
So we can just see in this scenario what tight ends are available, and here we go.
All right. So Stanford kid is gone. All right. So I'm looking at Durham Smythe from Notre Dame. That's going to be my pick.
Okay. All right. So Adrian is going to go with a tight end. Who's going to go with Durham Smythe. Fortunately, I have the controls, so right now I get to overrule Adrian in this. Because I took an offensive tackle, I'm going to get a running back here. But I'm not a huge Royce Freeman fan. I like him, but I'm looking for a guy to replace Darren Sproles, not a guy to replace LeGarrette Blount. I'm going to take Mark Walton here from Miami. I think he has huge upside. I think he could absolutely be an easy replacement there for Darren Sproles. So I went there.
Okay. All right, so you go Connor Williams and Mark Walton. I go Darius Geis and Durham Smythe. So you feel the need at tight end and needing a blocking tight end, and you know Smythe is one of the top blocking tight ends in this draft. Definitely not a sexy pick. People in Philadelphia may not like that, but it's something that you got to go for.
I get it. Yeah. All right, so now we're at the 4th round 32 pick. Eagles have back-to-back here in the 4th. So let's take a peek here again. Still on the clock. Adrian, what are you thinking now?
Yeah, this is where I'm thinking, maybe going tackle, maybe going linebacker. Got Josh Sweat still on the board, but I don't know if I'd want him. Who do we got to tackle?
All right, let's take tackles. While we look at this, I'll give you guys Josh Sweat, guy who is absolutely first-round potential, but his knees are currently made of jello. Has a big injury history with those knees, which is a reason why he's here. I certainly would understand the upside if you wanted to take him.
All right. I don't know who I'd want out of these guys. You know what? I'm going to take Josh Sweat because he's the best player available. And if you're a team that can, you're the Eagles and you just won a Super Bowl and there's not a lot of need, so you can take a chance on a guy like Josh Sweat.
I get that. I totally get that. I think in a scenario like this that we would do, someone would trade up for Luke Falk. In this scenario, I think this would be a perfect situation for the Eagles to trade. So Adrian's going to go with Sweat here, linebacker from Florida State. And if I spelled things wrong, sorry, not sorry.
Miami.
I'm going McFadden. I'm taking the Florida State defensive back. I want to get more length. I mean, I want to be able to cover guys down the field. So Travaris McFadden, he's a guy who had an awesome 2016, completely disappeared in 2017.
All right, so we're in the 5th round now.
Now we're in the 5th. I haven't addressed linebacker yet or receiver yet, which is what it's telling me so far. Adrian, you have taken a linebacker, you have taken a running back, and you've taken a tight end.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the best value left. So we got some running backs. Not seeing any wide receivers. Great got some punters. So
It's good to do this, though, to have these hypothetical situations.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, the Eagles really don't need a strong safety because they don't ask their safeties to be like strong safety types. I wish I didn't take Josh Sweat because I would have gone with Hercules Mataafa.
That's who I'm gonna go with, just so you know.
Yeah. I already took Darius Geis, so you're not going to take Akram Wadley. What? This playing itself out, it just shows that they need to trade back because there's no tackles, and
right.
I screwed up with the tackle.
Which is exactly why I said take the tackle in the first round because I know it's like after those guys.
Yeah, and you want if you trade back and you go second and third, you can take a tackle then, and they'll be fine. Going with two linebackers, though, it's kind of stupid. Screw it. I'm going to go Mataafa because I like him.
All right, we're on the same page. Here's the one thing I'm kind of kicking myself in the pants for. I might have not taken Mark Walton in the 4th to get Wadley here in the 5th because I think their skill set is very similar. Guy catches the ball out of the backfield, 10 to 15 touches a game. So that's where I'm kicking myself in the pants here, Adrian. But for sake of agreement, I think we're both going to Hercules here.
Yeah, Hercules. And, depth at linebacker has been a problem for them too. And, you add some depth by getting two guys. So you Sweat and then Mataafa, however you pronounce his name. So I have two linebackers I took. I mean, it's not unprecedented or anything to take two guys at a position, especially in the middle rounds. I mean, it's okay. So that he in my opinion, he's probably the best player available, even though it may not say he is, but I think he is. So there you go. All right, so now we get to the 6th and the 7th rounds, and honestly, this is probably where I go tackle twice. To try to hit on a guy, unless there's a good wide receiver left. So. We got the tackles up, and we still got our boy. Man, I might just take the Temple guy just because of the connection.
Cool.
So let's take a look at the wideouts though before I make that pick.
Okay, I would say the tackles in this situation, Desmond Harrison would probably be the biggest upside. A guy who was kicked off the team at Texas, ended up going to West Georgia. He would probably be the best upside, but I mean, to be honest with you, when you're taking guys after the 5th round, all you're doing is taking flyers on them.
All right, well, since I see Marcel Aitman on the board, I'm taking him.
I'm with you 100%. If Marcel Aitman somehow falls this far, absolutely, I think he's a steal. I think he's probably going in the 3rd in the real world, though. So let's throw this together.
Well, in my scenario, I didn't even take a tackle yet, so that's a position they're going to address next year's draft and take multiple.
Yep. All right. Adrian, what do you want to attack here?
Yeah, this is where I'm going best tackle available. You got to take somebody. So, let's stay local. Let's take the Temple kid.
Taking Cole Boozer, excuse me. All right, so Adrian's going Boozer there for tackle. So for me, I still haven't taken a receiver. I have taken a receiver. I have not taken a tight end. Linebacker, I think, could still be a need here as well for me. Let's see here. There's nearly no one here that's jumping to me so far. You know what? I think I would go inside backer here. And no. Yeah, I'm going to go inside backer. I'm going to take Thomas from Florida State, a 7th round linebacker. So as we complete our draft, cool thing here about what first pick does, first pick kicks out like what they would grade each pick for you. That's based on what your team needs is. That's based on availability for future rounds. And it's also based on best player available. And then it said, hey, my overall score here was a 21.080. So if you really want to lose a whole day and not do much work and get your boss really mad at you, play around with first pick because it's very, very addicting. Yeah. So Adrian, let's take a peek at what you and me finished up with. So we both did this. And then, Adrian, you went Boozer, O-tackle, Temple, right? And then who was the linebacker? I took a Florida State linebacker. I forget his name. When you're looking at this, Adrian, what's some of your takeaways at this scenario that we did?
Well, playing itself out. I wish I took a tackle earlier, and because the way it played itself out, I mean, like there's just not a lot of good tackles in this class. I don't know if I go with it first round though, because all right, Connor Williams was there, but see that I'm not as high on Connor Williams as other people are. So it's the guys that I'm high on. I wonder where Brian O'Neill went because he's the guy I really like. And then you had Tyrell Crosby. See, if you had the second and the third, I would have felt more comfortable taking it like a Tyrell Crosby.
Exactly.
So this just shows and why the Eagles have kind of even have made it known this week that the 32 pick is for sale, and it might be the right way to go. Even if Darius Geis is there at 32, I know a lot of people. It's going to be hard for them to pass up on Darius, but I think the right call is definitely to trade back so you can address tackle, you can address some of these needs. Because if you have the 1 and the 4 and you don't go tackle in the first round, you're kind of screwed with that.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian, you said it spot on there, dude, about the no day 2 picks. Like I said, between the first round and the 4th round, that's almost 100 picks between there. Yeah. So, I'm with you. I think this pick is absolutely for sale, but that's why I said, look, in this scenario that we did where we said, hey, we're not trading, I'm taking Connor Williams there in the first round because I know the next time you can get a tackle in the 4th round, it's going to be a major drop-off. And here's the thing. If I don't take a linebacker in the first round, yeah, okay, maybe you know what? Maybe my run defense is a little soft. I don't take an offensive lineman in the first round, Carson Wentz gets hurt. So to me, I prioritize offensive linemen a lot more. But that's just my personal opinion. Yeah. When I'm looking at how I did here, Adrian, I kicked myself in the pants there for taking Mark Walton in the 4th because I rather would have taken a guy like Akam Wadley from Iowa in the 5th. I think I probably could have got a better linebacker there in the 4th. But overall, I'd be pretty happy if the Eagles did this. But again, they're not staying put. So let's do this again, Adrian, and let's talk about what would happen if we actually did it in the real world where we start trading picks around.
Yeah, let's trade some picks. Yeah.
So what we're going to do this, guys, is we're going to do this round, and me and Adrian are going to kind of work together, and we're going to talk about, hey, what offers potentially would be on the board? What would we do? Now, the one thing that's tough about what First Pick does is you cannot control what offers you get, and you cannot counter offer. So when you get an offer, either you accept it or you decline it. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just go right to the 32 pick, to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Give us a good offer.
All right, we only have one offer on the table. And that's going to be a 2nd-round pick to get back to second round, 2nd pick, and then also a 4th. Adrian, do we want to take this? Do we want to see what's on the board? What do you want to do?
Yes, it's obviously, let's take a look at what's on the board first.
Okay.
They didn't give us the 3rd that we would have wanted, but at least that 4th-round pick, it is pretty high. So we're looking here. You still got so Geis is just not, I guess, not thought highly in these things. Where are the tackles at?
I see Colton Miller here. I see Crosby.
See, I'd probably accept that trade. Let's just accept it.
I would too, and I would hope maybe let's kind of see if both of these guys, if we still have Colton Miller and we have Crosby on the board, I'm trading back again.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we could trade back.
All right, so let's see here. All right, Crosby's still on the board. Colton Miller's still on the board.
All right, let's take a look at some offers. Anybody want to jump up?
The 11 one is the only one to me, Adrian, I would even consider because if we go to 20 or 21, I think both of those offensive tackles.
We're going to lose out. All right, so now all of a sudden we have 4 4ths in our scenario.
Yep.
So let's accept the Chargers trade offer.
Okay. Now
here's we're stockpiling on picks.
Right. Now here's what I would do, and this is kind of a cool way to do this, guys. Instead of me doing skip to my pick, if I just hit continue, I can manually just go one at a time because what I would do is now here's what I would do. The second that one of these tackles got picked, I might trade up.
Trade back up, yeah. Let's see who else is available at tackle, though.
I like Crosby a lot.
See, we still got Brian O'Neill on the board, and I would see. I'd probably let it play itself out because
Okay.
I like Crosby and I like Brian O'Neill, and then you also got Chukuma Okorafor, who I'm pretty high on as well.
Right.
So what I would probably do is I'd probably wait till 11, and then when you get to does this allow you to trade back up into the third round? Because that's what I want to do.
Can.
I want to trade up into the third round.
All right, so now we're sitting here at 11. So,
All right, let's hope one of our tackles is still there, and he is. So,
Crosby and O'Neill as well as Rankin.
yeah. All right. Well, my top tackle in my top 5 rankings was actually Brian O'Neill. But in this scenario, I mean, it's probably more realistic that they would take Crosby.
Okay.
So for us, let's just do Crosby, even though I prefer O'Neill.
Okay, I would agree with you there. All right, now we can do this, Adrian. We can skip all the way to the 4th round where our next pick is, or we can just continue till we get to the top of the 3rd and then talk about trading up.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's. I'm gonna skip around a couple picks here, guys. So just hang with me here as I continue to skip till we get to the start of the 3rd. All right, so now here we are at the start of the 3rd round. Let's take a peek here in this scenario, guys. Who's available at the top of the 3rd round? Best available players.
So you got Nick Chubb. I mean that he kind of stands out right away. You still got Brian O'Neill. You got Rashad Penny. So you're looking at some pretty good running backs. Wide receiver. I mean, I guess they got Michael Gallup really high. I'm not high on him per se. You got Anthony Miller out there. So already looking at this trade scenario. I mean, Malik Jefferson's on the board.
Yep.
So I'm trading back. Dante Jackson, slot, probably the best slot corner in this draft. I'm trying to trade up because I'm trying to get maybe Dante Jackson because you need to fill that slot corner role. And I would wait until the 4th round to get my running back because it's such a deep running back class.
I'm with you there. I buy what you're selling. The only difference is I would trade up for Malik Jefferson because I know that it's not a really deep linebacker class, but I get what you're saying. So, Adrian, we can try to trade now. We're going to have to trade a lot because it's first pick, or we can go back a couple in the 3rd.
I say we go back because you got 2 guys that I'm interested in is Jefferson and also Miller.
Okay, so
Jackson.
Do we want to go one at a time, or do we want to go by 5s?
Let's skip 5.
All right, we'll skip 5.
Let's see if they're still there. Let's see.
All right, so O'Neill just went, Miller just went, Chubb just went, Gesicki just went.
All right, so the 2 guys that we want are still on the board. I would skip another 5 and then propose a trade.
Skip 5 more. Hayden Hurst just went. I don't think there's any way Hayden Hurst is going to be available in the 3rd.
No.
I like Frank Ragnow a lot. And look, Shaquem Griffin, here we go. 3rd round, top of the 3rd. I think that's realistic.
All right, so our guys are still out there. We could play around and try to do another 5, or we can this is the kind of point where we can propose a trade. Now, I believe we have a pretty high 4th round pick since the Giants traded with us.
Yep.
So I think at this point we could make a solid offer. Trade 2 fourths to try to get up to the 3rd.
Okay. So as you can see here, what we're trying to do is the Giants currently are sitting here at 75, and we need to move up from 108 at the very earliest. So, Adrian, what would you want to offer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the trade chart in front of me, but I would guess, like, if you do the 108, maybe 132, maybe you can is that too much? I don't know off the top of my head.
I think that's fair. I think maybe even a sweetener is maybe a 7th and or a 6th.
Okay, well, we'll send them the 7th. We don't need it.
All right, so let's see what happens here. Not accepted. They declined it. First off, there's no way Isaiah Oliver is going to be here in the 3rd round. Okay, let's stop that.
All right, so let's skip another 5, and let's hopefully our guys aren't gone.
All right, so we have Kerryon Johnson just went, James Washington just went, John Kelly from Tennessee, and Terrell Edmonds. So we still have our guys.
Our guys are still there. All right, so let's propose another trade, and now let's see if we can get our 2 fourths, and
You want to throw the 7 too or no?
we'll throw the 7th in our second offer. We'll do 2 offers, or can you not do that?
I only can do one, unfortunately.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Still
Man.
no dice.
Man,
Now, the good thing to know here, guys, is what they're doing is the way the system is set up. It's set up based on the trade chart.
yeah. All right, you know what? I'm gonna pull up the trade chart. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna. I guess we can skip another 5 picks. Let's just take another chance.
Want to skip another 5? Okay.
Yep.
Just lost Malik Jefferson.
Okay, so now I definitely want to get up there for Dante Jackson.
Yeah, so as Adrian kind of gets that situated, let me pull up the values chart so everyone can see exactly what we're looking at. So in our scenario, guys, we've already taken our tackle, so we're not really worried about those guys at this point in time. We were looking here. The guy me and Adrian like together is Dante Jackson. I would have liked Malik Jefferson more, but obviously he's not there, so can't cry about spilled milk.
Yeah.
So he would be my guy that I would trade up for in this scenario so far.
Actually, you're probably right. Malik Jefferson's probably the better option. I think if there's one need that the Eagles have, it's slot corner, and I think he's probably the best slot corner in his class because that's like his specialty.
Yeah.
You have other guys who are outside guys that are going to be slot corners in the NFL, but with a guy like Dante Jackson, I think he's a guy that it's going to be a seamless transition. So we are at what pick of the?
We are at 87. We're trying to get to 87, and the next pick we offer Adrian is 108.
All right, so 155 is the amount of points for that 87 pick, and 108 is worth 78. So if you do 78 plus 40, that is still not even enough.
That's 118.
Yeah, so now I know why you want to throw the 7th up there, and the 7th is only worth 8.6. So you might actually want to do the 6th. Actually, no, never mind. The 6 is only worth 8.6.
Yeah.
So you might have to throw a better 4th. Now we have 4 of them, correct? So,
yeah, 119, 131, and 132, Adrian.
All right, so 78 plus 56 is like roughly around 132, I think, off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 132, and we still got to get to 155. Man. But you don't want to give up 3/4. I think that's too much. Now I see why this is so difficult.
What I'm thinking here, Adrian, and tell me if my numbers are even close. I'm thinking 108, 119, my 6th, and my 7th. And what does my numbers come out to?
Yeah, so 108, 78, 119, right, you said? So that's 132. And what's the other one, 6 and 7?
6 and 7.
So we're at 132. 6 is worth 8.6. 7th round picks are only worth like one point. So 7th is basically meaningless.
So right there, my trade offer is 142, and the 87th pick, Adrian, you said is worth 155.
Yeah, so it doesn't even catch up to it.
Right.
Jeez. And if we trade up, or if we kind of wait more, so you're getting scared of losing Dante Jackson. But you know what? It seems like okay, we do have 2/5. All right. Okay, so let's do the 2 fours, the 2 top 4s.
Okay.
And then let's throw them a 5th, and let's see.
5th?
Yeah.
155.
Sure.
All right, let's see what happens. All right, we got it.
All right, we got our pick. So Dante Jackson's on the board. Let's go get the best slot corner in this draft.
Boom, done. All right. So far, guys, we have taken our left tackle of the future, or our tackle of the future, and then we've also taken our slot corner.
And now we still got 2 4th-round picks, and we know that we're going to get a good running back because it's a good running back class. Now let's also look at linebackers, though. Let's take a look at who the linebackers are. I mean, we have back-to-back picks.
Yeah.
I mean, Matafa's there. Matafa is probably the guy that I like most out of all those guys.
Those are outside. Let's see what the insides look like because I'm
Yeah.
agreeing with you so far.
Um, you got
I
linebacker you, and you like him? It's a
I
great
kind
fit.
of I kind of like Sales from Indiana. I mean, he was, but this way, he was an MVP of his bowl game, and his team lost. So that tells me the dude is very productive.
Yeah.
I kind of like him here, but as again you can see here, guys, not a lot of linebackers that we really love. That's
Yeah.
why again, if you miss out on that Malik Jefferson or Josie Jules of the world, it's very similar to the tackles. It's a big drop off.
Yep. All right. See, I wish I would have looked at the trade chart sooner, and we could have put together a better deal to get Malik Jefferson.
And let's
But
just look at hypothetically, just to kind of kick ourselves in the pants, what corners are available at this point. Nothing great. I mean,
yeah,
I like Travaris McFadden.
yeah,
In my perfect world scenario, we would have gotten Malik Jefferson here in the third, and then we would have gotten McFadden in the fourth. But I'm okay with how things are going so far too.
there's some people out there that might be watching this, and they might not want the Dante Jackson pick because they might think that a guy like Jalen Mills can make a seamless transition to play the slot. Now, my counter argument to that would be, well, we really don't know because he's never really tried it. And we look at that DRC situation, the Dream Team situation, where they just plugged DRC at slot thinking that he could do it, and he couldn't do it. So it's not a 100% sure thing that it could be done. And if you have all of a sudden you have a need there and you have a weakness there, teams are just going to attack the slot position. So that's why Dante Jackson would be kind of a valued pick there.
You get Sterling Shepard twice a year. You get the White Boy Supremes there in Dallas twice a year. 4 games right there. You have really good slot options. And then, of course, the Redskins, you can move Jordan Reed into the slot pretty easily too.
Yeah. All right. So you know what? There's 2 guys actually that kind of stand out. So we have Royce Freeman. I know you're not as high on him as I am, but you have him, and then you got Dalton Schultz there, the blocking tight end. So that might be where I go, and I might just wait to get a linebacker.
It's interesting that me and Adrian have all 4. My 2 names are going to be different than his. I would say in this scenario, I'm taking Deion Kane.
Yeah.
Because he slid. And then the other pick, because remember we have 31 and 32, so we really go back to back. I would have taken Indiana's linebacker because that's how I would have attacked it. But Adrian, I'm gonna give you full GM. I'm just a stat guy in the back corner making suggestions. What do you want to do?
Yeah. All right. Let's check out the wide receivers. Let's see who else is there. Because if Deion Kane, because again, running back is a spot where it's so deep. All right.
Now, if I'm also going to make my case against myself, I could say I might be able to get 8-man in this scenario in the 5th round. And if I can get 8-man in the 5th round, I don't really think Deion Kane is necessarily right now.
You still got 8-man, Deontay Burnett.
I like Jamon Moore from Mizzou too.
Yeah. I wouldn't go receiver now. Now let's check out the running backs too, though, because maybe there's still a bunch of them left. All right, see, you still have Kalen Ballage, Royce Freeman. You still got Bo Scarborough. So that's where your argument. All right, you can wait on a running back because you still got a bunch of them left.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm switching my position.
Okay.
I want to get a linebacker. So let's take the linebacker that you like.
Okay.
Do that. So in case Justin Hicks, Jordan Hicks ever gets hurt, we have that. And wide receiver, I think Deion Kane would be a good spot here for that. So let's go Deion Kane of Clemson. Clemson becoming wide receiver you. So we went and took the 2 guys that you wanted.
Now let me split. Let me ask you this. I know you liked him. I know you like Schultz.
I forgot about Schultz. Never mind. No, that's the pick.
Do you want Schultz?
Yeah. I made a mistake.
Okay. All right. So we split the difference there. We both got one of our guys. Okay. Now we're here in the 5th. And Adrian,
All
we
right.
talked about running back and wide receiver. Do you want to see best available, or you want to go running back or receiver
Yeah,
here?
let's check out running backs and receivers. So let's
Backs.
basically take whoever the best is left. All right, so we got Bo Scarborough is the only one that kind of sticks out here. Kareem Wiley, I know you like him a lot for the Darren Sproles role.
Yep.
With Bo Scarborough, I'm kind of looking at the Garrett Blunt role.
Sure.
So, all right, let's take a look at the wideouts. We still got Aitman. See, I feel like there's a big drop off from Aitman. So let's go Aitman with.
I'm with you. I agree.
All right, so now we're on to the 6th round, and let's hope that running back is still there. I don't think Bo Scarborough is going to be there, but maybe he is.
Didn't luck out.
Nope. Who we got at running back?
There's not a lot of guys here I'm really interested in. Ryan Nall from Oregon State might be a guy that I might like. I don't love him. Dawkins is actually the nephew of Brian Dawkins here. Yeah. He's not big and he's not super fast. I mean, there's a reason these guys are here this late. So
yeah. So we wound up waiting too long for running back.
Yeah, I think that's the key here is if we go back, we got to do it somewhere in that 4th, 5th round.
Yeah, so we should have taken Bo Scarborough in the 5th. That's okay. All right, so let's take a look at best available. Now, the one guy there that I don't hate is Justin Jackson from Northwestern.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I think he ran a slow 40 time though, from what I remember.
Yeah. See, and this is what I would do if we didn't. Let's say, for example, Adrian, we struck out on corners. I would have waited and I would have gotten DJ Reed, who's another guy who I think could be a slot corner.
Yeah.
Return ability. I think if the Eagles strike out on a corner early, I think DJ Reed makes a ton of sense there.
Yeah. Let's see. What else?
Same thing with J.C. Jackson from Maryland, another one I would say I would consider at that spot.
Yeah.
And if you miss out on a blocking tight end, Will Disley from Washington is a former defensive end. He's more of a true inline blocker. So if you miss out on a tight end, I mean, getting Schultz there in the 4th was a steal. So that was a no-brainer for us. But if the Eagles miss out on him, I think he's a name to consider there late.
You know who's popping out? Even though
Justin Jones?
Even though the Eagles don't have a need at that spot, obviously defensive line is stacked. I mean, he's by far the best player left on the board.
I'm with you.
I'm taking Justin Jones.
I'm with you, Justin Jones. The only other one I would have considered, I know the Eagles don't run a lot of fullback, but Dimitri Flowers can play like an H-back role too. I would have considered him, but I'm with you, Adrian. Justin Jones, best player available. Let's just pick it and keep him.
I forgot to change my logo.
All right, we got our last pick here, Adrian. We still have to address running back, guard, and free safety according to our website here. Or do you want to go best available?
They can suck it because we had a good draft.
We have a good draft.
I'm taking a look at best available again. Like you get these late rounds, you're taking best available.
Yeah.
All right. So this is getting to the point where I'm having trouble. And once I'm having trouble, I'm seeing Levi Wallace. I mean, that's okay. You know who I might take? Javon Wims of Georgia.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I like Javon Wims.
Javon Wims, Cedric Wilson, I think both of these guys would be late-round receivers I would consider. So, yeah, if we want to go Javon Wims, I give the approval.
All right, so that's our draft, and I think we did a good B-. Bullshit. Boo!
You know what it was? I'll take ownership here. It was my linebacker. That's clearly the low was me.
You convinced me with the linebacker because, obviously the Eagles need depth there. You know what? The mistake we made was taking that linebacker and not taking Bo Scarborough.
You know, this is what I talked about, though, with our draft. There's two positions that I think are really big drop-offs that are positions of need for the Eagles, tackles and linebackers. That's why I just said if the Eagles wanted to reach and take a linebacker at 32 or a tackle at 32, I understand it because the drop-off of talent is pretty severe there versus running back, defensive back, receiver. I don't think the drop-off is as severe.
There it is. All right. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, that was fun. I like doing that. And, I wish the first time around I made different picks. But you know what? You always kind of second guess yourself when you do these things.
Absolutely. And guys, go on first pick, play around with it in the comment section. Let us know. Give us that copy and paste of what your picks were, what the grades were, what the numbers score was. We love this stuff, guys. So let's enjoy it.
Yeah, and some people out there, they might not think the Eagles need a tackle because they think he might be the tackle of the future. Now, here's what I'll say to that. I mean, he was really good in the playoffs. Super Bowl, he kind of struggled. The game that impressed me was his game against Everson Griffin. I mean, that was impressive. I forget what the number is now. I think he allowed like 8 sacks on a regular season. It was like he wasn't as good as you might think. That's kind of the point there. And you talk about Carson Wentz, and maybe he has an injury history now. We'll see if that actually lives up to fruition or whatever. But if you've got a guy in Big V that you're unsure about, you go get a tackle.
I think the one position that you err on the side of caution more than anything is offensive line, because if you don't have a good offensive lineman, your quarterback gets hurt. If you don't have a good running back or a good linebacker, maybe your run game gets hurt. But to me, the offensive line is all about protecting your players. So I'm with you. Even if you are a Big V fan, I hear you. I still think you draft a tackle in this year's draft class. No brainer in my mind.
Yeah. So there you go. The only thing looking back, all right, so you can wait on running back, but you don't want to wait too long.
Yeah. That fourth, once you get past that fifth, it's pretty.
That's how it was last year with the cornerbacks. Once they got to what's his name? Kid from Iowa was like the last great cornerback.
DJ King.
There you go.
Justin King, something King. I forget his first name.
Desmond
King. That was it. Yeah.
Desmond King. So once we got past him, there was a huge drop off. But like we remember how great the cornerback class was last year and how much depth it was, and it had. Once you got to the fifth, that's when that ended. So that's where you want to get your running back, 4th, 5th round. Darius Geis, though, is very enticing in the first round. If you do the 1 and 4 scenario, okay, I can see that. But if you take a Darius Geis, you're kind of limiting yourselves in other areas.
Exactly. That's why, Adrian, you and me said this when we did our mock draft. I don't see many odds the Eagles actually take 32.
Yeah, and especially if Mason Rudolph or somebody is still on the board that a team likes in the second round. So a guy like Mason Rudolph, a team might want to overpay for him just to get him on their roster. And, well, obviously, if you're the Eagles, you're going to take a trade offer if you don't have a second and a third.
I'm with you, and that's the fact that you don't have a pick for another 100 picks between the 1st and the 4th. Trade back, get something on day 2, get maybe 2 things on day 2. That's better than having 1 pick on 32. And for the folks who like receivers, I hear you. Let me just give you a stat really quick. Of the 13 receivers that were drafted in the last 4 first rounds, only 1 of them has a Pro Bowl. So if you're thinking about Sutton, you're thinking about DJ Moore, you're thinking about Shark, you're thinking about any of these receivers at 32, I hear you. But if you're one of those people who's like, oh, you can get good value running backs in day 2, you can get good value receivers in day 2 and day 3 too.
There you go. Who's that one receiver? I'm trying to think.
Take one guess.
Mike Evans.
Amari Cooper.
Mike Evans
has passed 4 years. He's older than 4 years now.
Oh, in the past 4 years, my bad. Oh, man, Mike Evans has been in the – wow.
Now you feel old, huh?
Wow, he's been in the – wow. You're right, though. He just got his extension.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're right. Okay. All right. That's it on our end. That's Brendan Albert. I'm Adrian Fedke. Hope you guys enjoy this because that was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yep.